Now, I'll be that I'm setting up to be very regular as previously before. And this makes me come with today's episode. I want it to be a little different and is part of like a testimonial. Well, I was talking about the previous video, the very last one, the very last episode. I was talking about how the crusade got prepared, parts that got involved here and there, in a very brief form, how I encountered the crusade itself. You know, there is a crusade and there's a personality in the crusade, and etc., etc. And after the crusade, how I briefly, very briefly, I just tried to express that how I met Mama. Now, today's episode, I want you to just be very attentive about the encounter with Mama Evelyn. That encounter with Mama Evelyn. Okay, let's begin by defining anointing. Well, anointing is a virtue that God gives a human being. I want to use a very layman language, as very lay as possible, very basic language as possible. Anointing is a virtue, the grace, the power. As per the description we know about Prophet T.B. Joshua explaining. Today I will not play any video. I want to just give in an encounter, how I encountered the grace upon Mama Evelyn on the same day I met her one-on-one in a place where I believe that was a place where he was giving grace of prayer and goodwill to people that God has led in her heart in one way or another. I'm trying to pick the right words because this one is a little more sensitive to speak everything. I will edit as much as possible words that I'll be speaking. So if you see another word is not connecting, don't think otherwise. I just edited in my mind and through my mouth intentionally. When you want to see Mama Evelyn, if you want to know about the mantle and the grace Prophet T.B. Joshua carried is in her, you encounter her. What we talk about encounter is the meeting, the reaction between the recipient of a grace and the carrier of the grace. Recipient of anointing, the person that is coming to get benefit from an anointing, meeting the carrier of the anointing, you will find encounter. Or a man or a woman meeting God's grace or the Spirit of God is still an encounter within the concept prepared to speak about. Now, this is an encounter of an anointing of Prophet T.G. Joshua inside Mama Evelyn Joshua. So I won't tell you the place, but I know the people who know what I'm saying, they understand it. After the crusade, it was a time that Mama was doing charity work. So part of the charity work, we were involved. And at one point, Mama wanted to see the people who are in Kenya and different people. So I was privileged to be part of the group that Mama was to see. You see, and I'm staggering in the words so because I'm trying to find the right words to speak, not to just go overboard. So when it was my turn to meet her one-on-one, of course it was a room full of people, so many people. The time she just showed up, you get that grace, you hear the environment change. Those people who thought Prophet T.B. Joshua died with the grace or someone else has it, you are mistaken. Well, you hear as if the grace upon Prophet T.B. Joshua is upon that woman. Everything, the atmosphere change. It's like Prophet T.B. Joshua is around. Well, I know somebody who wants to say, oh, now you see, you you started this or you started that. Oh, yeah. What I'm trying to tell you is now a practical part of grace. There was one episode I did way back where Prophet Elisha was buried in a place. So there were some other people also came to bury their own in the same place where Prophet Elisha was buried. Way before, way long time. In fact, theologians say it was over 1,000 years. I suppose so. It was over 1,000 years. So these people did not even know Prophet Elisha was born there, was buried there. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Was buried there. So they went to bury. I don't know, something happened. So they dropped the man in the tomb. So the man dropped on top of the bones of the prophet and resurrected. Within the resurrection, so they all panicked. Oh, what's going on? We were coming for burial, but then what happened to the dead? Then you see, and that panic, so they started running. I'm trying to give that example. Now, graces don't die. I will come back again to explain how the last minute transfer was manifested through Mama Evelyn Joshua. In the very last, I've shown you all the episodes. Many times this episode, I've shown you many episodes that talk about the same and talk about this. That we are in the days where grace has been transferred in scorn. So all the people that are coming to see grace that is there upon Mama Evelyn, no, you are the same guy who is really benefiting from the grace that was upon Prophet T.B. Joshua. Prophet T.B. Joshua has a special grace of his own class. You've had it online, you've had it physically, you've had it all over spiritually. He has testified, he has spoken, he has trained, he has mentored, he has fathered, he has really led many into knowing that God has a different grace that he imparts each and every individual they carry. You carry your own grace. God has placed you. But this grace we are talking about is transferable. It can be transferred. So when I met Mama Evelyn, the environment definitely changed. I know she can tell this. Other people who are there around, she can tell. I was mesmerized. I couldn't speak a lot. You know, like now you can hear I'm shouting, doing, oh, blah, blah, blah. I can't be talking. I had no words. Actually, I had no words to speak. So I had to start finding what should I speak. I was listening. That woman, when she speak, and the words would be going down my nerves, and I could see, this is my day. So I knew that was my day. And in fact, after finishing, I had to kneel down and get a prayer. I know bloggers will pick this part, maybe. But I know what I'm saying. So I knelt down, she lay her hands upon me, and I saw like heaven open. Now, after that day, this is now the confirmation where I can tell you openly and vividly and with grace that she had. From that day up to now, as I'm talking, I'm doing this video, things are different. Stories are different. Wherever I go, there's a different story. Places I go to, different stories. People I met, different stories. The same people I knew before, same different stories. Every place, things just change drastically. Environments could change drastically. Now, that's when I now come to realize on another level that not all people are just the same in the spiritual realm. Virtues are different. Just like we said it before, virtues are different. People who cannot see virtue of God in another person's grace, called, ordained, mantled. I saw the mantle operating in her. I'm not saying this for any reason. But I'm saying this for someone who has been like, oh, you know this, you know that. Now, get it into this. Moments we wait and moments come. Moments we wait and moments we talk about. So, Thanksgiving service in Lagos, we are preparing. I'm coming to get the second dose. I'm coming to get the second dose. And now, what I'm trying to do about this is that the virtue of manifestation, number one. Number two, the virtue of humility. I will tell you the truth. When it comes to issues of humility, sometimes I get challenged. Because that humility part of it, it's not just a thing, it's a gifting that God bestows upon people. There is a way. I still need a lot more humility in my life. And the third thing, breakthroughs, both in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. I know some people say, oh, you can go to heaven direct and acquire the grace from heaven. Yeah, you can do that. But let me tell you another thing you don't know. That grace, everything we need from God is already here on earth. Find someone you want to take it from. Me, have located people I want to take grace from. I want to take virtues from. Now you who keep on shouting, oh, men of God, women of God, oh, this one. Let me give you one simple advice to end your struggle. Find grace upon another man that God placed there. So you can also be in grace, transferred. Anointing is transferable. Let me quote our prophet TB Joshua, our father. Anointing is transferable. Virtue of God is transferable. Your readiness can determine how you take it. The prophet Alan Jomba is in Kenya. Alan Jomba is in Kenya. You can see the manifestation. The man gave himself into that grace. Up to date. He's thriving. He's thriving. And God has graced him with one thing. The anointing. That Mama Evelyn can release. Well, I'm not trying to endorse anyone. I'm trying to say this, that grace is transferable, in short. My name is Timothy Profitable, and this is Blevoy. We handle your spirituality, economic, and social matters. See you in the next episode. God is waiting for you.